Hello, we are the China and Chill Party, and today we are going to identify and evaluate Hong Kong's role in the One Belt, One Road initiative. On the agenda, we are going to introduce One Belt and One Road, Hong Kong's role as well as its shortcomings. The One Belt, One Road is an initiative started by China during the 19th National Party Congress in 2017 to increase regional cooperation and trade along the Silk Road. The road goes through China to Central Asia, to Europe, to Africa. Almost the whole world is on this road except North and South America, mainly the United States, most likely as they are the competitors of China. It is similar to the Silk Road from that started in 206 BC, which was active during the period of the old dynasties in China. There are five routes that link the Belt Road. The first one links China to Europe through Central Asia. The second one connects China with the Middle East through Central Asia. The third one brings together China and Southeast Asia, southern China, and the Indian Ocean. The fourth one links China with Europe through the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean. The fifth and final one connects China with the South Pacific Ocean through the South China Sea. China has invested a huge amount of money on this project, which is over 500 billion US dollars. Funding comes from various sources such as the Silk Road Fund, which has contributed 40 billion US dollars, and Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, which is short for AIIB, which has contributed over 100 billion USD. One of the good things that China does for developing countries along the road is that it assists them to build infrastructure, letting out loans between 10 billion US dollars to 50 billion US dollars. These developing countries also in turn give land and labor to China, leading to mutual cooperation. Now I'll pass the time to my group.
Hello everyone. I'll be talking about China's plans for Hong Kong under the One Belt, One Road initiative. Firstly, I would like to talk about some of the major facts about Hong Kong and its economy. So, the Hong Kong facts as of the year 2020 starts with population. There is 7.5 million people in Hong Kong. The GDP is $480.5 billion. Hong Kong has a 3.0% growth, 2.8% for 5-year compound annual growth. Hong Kong has a per capita of $64,216, and the unemployment rate has become 2.8%. So the question is, how will the One Belt, One Road initiative positively affect Hong Kong? So there are 5 factors that are playing into this initiative to Hong Kong's future with the One Belt, One Road initiative. Firstly, one country, two systems allows Hong Kong to practice a unique type of a system that lets Hong Kong participate in economic, social, and legal systems while also bringing a structure that is part of China, resulting in dual advantages. Secondly, Hong Kong practices a robust common law system. Hong Kong has a huge population of professionals, which also includes people from the legal sectors. As Hong Kong has a very positive reputation in the world market, and the market provides people with high level of expertise in international legal services and disputes, such as arbitration and mediation services. Thirdly, Hong Kong practices a free and open market, which means that there's a free flow of capital such as information and goods. Hong Kong is also known as an international business and financial hub. Hong Kong is not only an option because of its good transportation networks, communication networks, but it's known for its decades of prosperous business transactions. Lastly, the most important factor of them all, which is the deep understanding of the mainland's culture and business operations. China's inclusion of the One Belt, One Road initiative with Hong Kong will be brought in an international experience that both regions will have, and it will likely develop into an extensive international network that would bring huge sums of capital for both regions, resulting in a win-win situation for both China and Hong Kong. So it would be a wise idea for China to allow Hong Kong to be participating in the One Belt, One Road initiative. Moving on to the next presenter. Thank you.
The BRI, or so-called Belt and Road Initiative, may be a bridge to opportunities. So it will bring opportunities for Hong Kong's companies, MNC or multinational companies, human talents, and more. The Belt and Road promises a large array of advantages to billions of individuals, and these are the principal objectives of this enterprise. So first is financial integration, which streamline multinational financing and investment links, and coordinate monetary policy to lower macroeconomic risk. This basically will allow operations just like the capital to flow freely. Financial services are, of course, one amongst Hong Kong's greatest strengths as a world financial center and also the world's largest offshore RMB business center. Hong Kong has the capital, products, and expertise to fulfill the growing demand for financial services along the Belt and Road. These include offshore RMB services, asset management, insurance, and infrastructure financing. Speaking of which, the government is now in discussions with the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank on joining the institution as a non-sovereign territory. This may certainly boost Hong Kong's role in financing Belt and Road infrastructures. Another principal objective is people-to-people bonding, which promote academic and cultural exchange between Belt and Road nations and foster cooperation and unity throughout participating countries. The agreement of people-to-people bonds is launching exhibitions and forums regarding the Belt and Road, barge with student exchange and dealing holiday programs which will help the youngsters of Hong Kong understand the culture and business environment of their fellow BRI partners. Beyond economic relations, Hong Kong welcomes cultural exchanges with Belt and Road countries because of the cosmopolitan character and therefore the presence of the many community organizations in Hong Kong. It is well placed to develop people-to-people bonds along the Belt and Road, encouraging more interaction between the people, especially youngsters, just like the students here in Hong Kong, and support community organizations to achieve dead set Belt and Road counterparts.
Now let's talk about China. Is that all? Get out of Chinese embassy now. The first issue arising from the Belt and Road Initiative is that it mainly serves China's interest, and there is a lack of concern for the interests of the other members in the initiative. Case Study 1. Researchers at Oxford University's Business School found that in China, over half of the infrastructure projects delivered were poorly managed in ways such as cost overruns, lack of real economic benefit where projects are built, and little returns to investors. Case study 2. In addition to the first case, Nepal cancelled their hydroelectric dam, which cost about 2.5 billion US dollars due to it being founded in an irregular and thoughtless manner. And Pakistan cancelled an infrastructure agreement with China, which cost about 14 billion US dollars, as the projects had hyper strict conditions for the funding. Therefore, in order for the Belt and Road Initiative to be successful, the interests of fellow members of the initiative needs to be considered. The second arising issue is the unrestricted warfare doctrine.
Unrestricted Warfare, China's Master Plan to Destroy America, was co-authored by two PLA colonels, Xiao Liang and Wang Shangshui, in 1999. The doctrine was designed to wage war against the United States, which at the time had the superior military compared to China's, using any means necessary, hence the name Unrestricted Warfare. The majority of the doctrine is about military tactics. However, there are aspects that mention manipulation of non-military factors. In this case, manipulating foreign countries in order to become allies, in order to put the United States or any adversary at a disadvantage. If we were to understand what this doctrine implies, we can glance at this quote. Spaces in nature, including ground, the seas, the air, and outer space, are battlefields. But social spaces, such as military, politics, economics, culture, and the psyche, are also battlefields. It can be confrontation between professional soldiers, or one between newly emerging forces consisting primarily of ordinary people or experts. Well, that explains TikTok. I guess they're using cringe warfare to take over the world. From my observation, the Belt and Road Initiative follows the principles of diplomatic warfare, using diplomacy to get a strategic advantage, resources warfare, obtaining resources via force or compensation to gain a strategic advantage, economic aid warfare, aiding nations with resources to either form alliances or supply nations with economic resources to advance one's interest, and ideological warfare, a planned attack against the basic ideology of a hostile system.
If viewed under the perspective of unrestricted warfare, the Belt and Road Initiative can be viewed as a means to obtain a favorable position in a future conflict.
Epstein did not kill himself.
Hello. So, I'm going to be talking about the conclusion of this topic, and so far we have talked about what is One Belt and One Road, the advantages and the opportunities Hong Kong is getting under One Belt and One Road, and of course the shortcomings. So, to sum it up, One Belt and One Road is actually a road that's built so Asia, Europe, and Africa can link together and enhance the trade among all those countries who are participating in this One Belt and One Road. Not only that, it creates a regional economic cooperation. So what's the advantages Hong Kong is getting? Which is, first of all, Hong Kong is part of China, so Hong Kong and China has this law, which is one country and two system. Hong Kong is part of this, but then they get to use their own legal system rather than using China's legal system. Secondly, Hong Kong is a free and open market, and it's well-established international financial market because, first of all, it's a free port and also low taxation on goods. And of course, finally, world-class infrastructure. Hong Kong is really well known for this because of their business, their communication, and also their transportation. The opportunity Hong Kong is getting under this One Belt, One Road is, first of all, Hong Kong is the world's largest offshore RMB business center, offering the world's most diversified RMB investment, financing, and risk management products, which gives them an upside, which builds more opportunities for them. And of course, increases more opportunities for countries in B&R. Education offers in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong has one of the best education system in the world. and this would bring more opportunities for people who the countries who are in this BNR. And finally, countries who are in BNR can have a easier access to Hong Kong, easier access to have a visa due to being part of BNR, and also it increases the development of Hong Kong's economic development. But of course, think about this, if China cannot manage its own infrastructure projects locally, how can we be sure it can manage the infrastructure on the One Belt One Road initiative? Think about this. Moreover, does it mean China values geopolitical power rather than economic power, as projects are often tied to political pacts? There seems to be an issue with cooperation with local governments that needs to be considered for the Belt and Road Initiative, as it seems to not take local governments into consideration. Considering that China uses the unrestricted warfare doctrine in order to conduct foreign policy, it puts into questions whether the alliances of the Belt and Road Initiative for goodwill, or are the countries being used in order to advance China's interest. The Belt and Road Initiative can provide Hong Kong with improved economic growth. However, it can also lead to issues with local residents living in their due to the rising issues with Belt and Road Initiative. For example, Hong Kong lacking of land, the development would of course have more issues with this. So this is the end of our presentation, and if you want to look at the sources and the appendix, you can check it out in the PowerPoint. We have all the links and all the resources there. Thank you.